so I'm actually sat on my bed with a coffee and I thought I would film this video because it's very like, I don't know, tea inspired even though I'm not drinking tea. Today I actually thought I'd film a video where I answer your guys' questions that I've been avoiding, like the questions that I don't normally answer in Q&As, the questions that I'm just like,
yeah, I won't answer that.
I see a lot of these videos on YouTube and I thought, why not throw it on my YouTube, spice it up a little bit. Whoa. So I've already been prepared and popped all of your guys' questions on my notes just because my Instagram can be very hit and miss with loading at the minute. So I've added so many, like you guys really went in and you weren't afraid to basically, I don't know, just ask me questions that really do make me feel uncomfortable. The things that I don't normally want to answer. I was like, you know what, we're all friends, why not do it? And I don't normally do these types of videos on my channel anyway, so I thought you guys would probably enjoy this because it's basically a video of me feeling hella uncomfortable, and I guess that's for your entertainment. Okay, so the first one is, you're addicted to filler. I actually get this quite a lot. Like, I actually got a comment the other day, which I think I did screenshot. I was actually on my YouTube the other day and I saw this comment and I found it hilarious. I'll actually put a screenshot here. And it basically said, came about this video of yours and I'm wondering how drastic you've changed. Plastic surgery and lip fillers. How closer are you to fire since everything of your face is plastic? Won't you melt? That was literally a comment that popped up on my comment section. Like, the video that he was posting was from years ago and I am 22 now and I'm not, you know, when I started YouTube it was back in 2014, so I think it was about 15, 16, I'm 22, I've grown up. Things change, I will get older and my content will change and I will change as a person. No one is ever going to be stuck at that age, like I'm never going to be stuck at the age of 15 or 16. We all grow up and it's so normal to do that, but I feel like if anything I've grown up in a good way, like I've not changed and been, I don't know, I feel like I've not changed in an awful way. Like I feel like I've just become more chill and real and honest on this channel. Years ago, like on YouTube, I used to have this like persona of like, hey guys, and I did have a YouTube voice. Not like me now talking to you guys, I talk to my mum like this, I talk to my friends like this. Like it's no different to how I am on and off camera. So yeah, actually referring back to the avoided question, you're addicted to lip filler, you're addicted to filler in general. No, not one bit. I have had filler I think since I want to say 19 or 20, and I've done it bit by bit, which is actually like professionally the best way to do it, like bit by bit, and I've only had lip filler, that is literally it, and I've had no filler on my face. I definitely feel like I've probably got a lot more fat over the years, which if you think I've had like cheek filler and all that, I definitely haven't. It's just pure fatness. So yeah, them comments where I get a lot of hate just because I've had a little bit of lip filler is just ridiculous. I do overline my lips as well. Like I think you guys need to remember that I also have makeup, so I do make my lips look a little bit bigger, or I even them up a little bit, but no, not one bit. I've done it over years, and if it wasn't for my video being honest about it and showing you guys, I wouldn't get this kind of hate. I feel like people try and grasp at anything nowadays, try and hate at you, and if it isn't my hair colour or my hairstyle, it's my fillers, and it's just ridiculous. So I've only ever had lip filler, and I've only had it over the years, like I've not had a lot. Always have 0.5, and that's like the least amount you can get, so I've just done it over the years, and that's how I've got like a more, I don't know, gradual result. But no, I am not addicted to filler. If I was addicted to filler, I think you'd be seeing me getting cheek filler, jaw filler. What kind of filler can you get? You can get ridiculous amounts, and I don't get that. So no, I've only had lip filler, and I'm definitely not addicted at all. Like, yeah, I hope you guys know that. I know you guys who actually do support me and love me for who I am don't agree with this, but for the people who use this against me, I have only ever had lip filler, nothing else. I can definitely say that I'm not addicted. You don't have any friends, and that is why you don't show any other people on your YouTube except your family. This is something that I get quite a lot, like you don't have friends and things like that, and I always seem to like avoid it again because it's just something I don't need to bring up on my YouTube channel, and I don't know, it's just not a question I would gravitate to. However, this is kind of true, like I will admit I don't have a lot of friends. My circle of friends has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller over the years, which is good in a way, I prefer that. That was my straightness. I know a lot of people online, and I think that's kind of different. I do have a lot of like influencers who are like my friends online. Obviously, a lot of people live down south, so I can't exactly see them, and we're also in a pandemic. But truthfully, offline, I don't have a lot of friends. I can definitely count my friends on one hand, which says it all. But I do prefer that. Like, I prefer not having friends, and I don't have a best friend anymore. Like, I don't have anyone close like that. In a weird way, I like that. I like just being alone, and I like to just, have my work as my focus, and it just suits me more now. And I feel like I have definitely found the people who love me for me and not for my YouTube, and people who accept me and people who support me as well. I think it's so important to have people around you that support you, love you, and don't criticize you and make you feel bad for what you have. So I don't have a lot of friends, but that is nothing to be ashamed of, and I like that. I feel like this job has definitely shown me the people in my life who are true friends and not true friends, and no tea, no shade. I'm just happy being kind of a lonesome. So oh, you regret having your teeth done. Now this one is definitely like not true at all. I had my teeth done now about 2 years ago, I think. The whole experience of me having it done wasn't like as glam as people think. What I had done was very, very, very extreme. I had a lot of work done to my teeth, but I had them done naturally. Was there a slight regret on certain things? Yes. I feel like I regret not going a little bit whiter with my teeth. I didn't want them to be looking like Simon Cowell's, no offence, Simon Cowell, but I don't like that look. I don't like the bright white perfect look. I think it's too fake looking, and for my face I just thought it would look wrong. Like, it definitely transformed my face and how I speak, and I'm obviously not as conscious about my teeth now, which is amazing. It was the best thing that I did. Dental Excellence, who did my teeth, were just amazing. Couldn't have gone to a better practice. However, going through it and the things that I did, I had laser on my gums. I had, because my jaw is so small, I had a lot of work done. So I was bruised for a few days and I couldn't really talk. But obviously I did come out with beautiful teeth. That's the only thing I would say. I wish I did go a little bit whiter with them. But apart from that, I'm so grateful, and I definitely do not regret having them done, because I feel like it has definitely made me a lot more confident in my appearance, and I do smile more, which is perfect. I actually used to get really bad trolling because of my teeth on YouTube. If you go back on my videos, you will see that my teeth used to be really, really bad, and that is only because of medication from years ago. I was on steroids and they wrecked my teeth. My teeth were a mess, and that was all because of years and years of steroids and medication. So I used to get a lot of trolling because of that. And then when I changed my teeth, people obviously don't even say anything about my teeth anymore, which is obviously so sad to say, but it's a nice for me, because I know that it's not something I have to be conscious about. Definitely took me a few days to recover, but I love my teeth now, and best decision ever. Oh, I really like this one. You have no work experience, and that is why you did YouTube instead. This is really, really interesting, because when I started YouTube, it wasn't a job back then. Like, I don't think people could have it as a job. I can definitely vouch for saying that I didn't even know that monetization was a thing until like a few years after. So when I started it because I loved it. I feel like I definitely didn't have that positive in my life, and YouTube back then was a huge positive. It was something that I looked forward to. I loved talking to a camera because I didn't have friends back then, especially. I was going through a hard time, so I turned to YouTube as my escape, and it was an escape, especially because I was going through a lot at school. I was also going through a lot dealing with chronic pain for the first time. I didn't know what was going on. It was a rough time. So YouTube was just pure positivity for me, and I absolutely loved it, especially with it being online and trolling, and just people thinking that I'm gonna change my hair for them, or little things like that, where people just pick apart your appearance or what you say online or what you do just because they think they know your full life story just from a 20-minute video. That's the only downside, but apart from that, it's my dream job. And the funny thing is, something that I feel like I've never shared on YouTube is, at the time when I was still doing YouTube, I actually was volunteering at a hospital, which I actually go to. I loved volunteering there. I volunteered there for about a year, I think. I loved helping people. I loved chatting to patients. I think I had my YouTube channel at the time, but I actually did a lot of work experience in an office because I kind of got brainwashed into thinking that my life is going to be like a receptionist, because that's all people told me that I was good for. People were like, oh, you'd be good in an office, or you'd be good doing admin, because I guess people didn't see anything more from me apart from being a receptionist or an office person. I feel like people didn't see my potential beyond an office job, so I was kind of brainwashed into thinking, well, that's what my work experience is going to be. I ended up trying to get work experience at Debenhams, and they didn't want me there. Boots also declined me because I was in a wheelchair. It was all like the health and safety things, so yeah, it was a bit of a sticky situation, but I have done a lot of work experience kind of jobs, and I feel like if it wasn't for YouTube, I would be really stuck. But I definitely have found my feet. Is that saying? I've definitely found my feet in YouTube. This really is my dream job, and if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have the confidence to what I do today. And like, YouTube really has changed my life for the better, and I couldn't be any more grateful. Some of these are so savage, but this next one is, you're addicted to morphine, and that is why you have been on it long term. I was actually on morphine, like liquid, for years and years and years, and I will admit, I did think like, oh my god, what if I am addicted, because I'm taking this every single day, and it's kind of like a habit as well, because if you're doing that for years, I was thinking, what about if I turn into a tablet? Will I not get the same result in a weird way? Like, will my brain think, that's not morphine, like it's a tablet, it should be liquid? And I just recently, like last year, I actually recently changed to patches, which is currently what I've got on my leg right now, and it gives me like the same pain relief, but it's just in a patch. And thank God that I'm not addicted. I mean, I'm still in pain, and that's not me saying I'm happy and I'm pain free now, but the fact that I've changed over to having patches is such a positive for me. Like, it was a big relief and weight off my shoulders. It was the story of Ant, when he ended up hurting his leg. He was addicted to morphine. It did definitely cross my mind, and I was like worried about it, but thank God that last year I got weaned off it. I was put onto patches, and yeah, that is what my situation is at the minute, and I'm very happy on patches. I mean, this one, you want a diagnosis but you don't want to admit it. I really don't want a diagnosis. When I was doing the documentary, the whole idea of it definitely was pushed on me. There was no part of me that wanted a diagnosis back when I filmed it, but I think like they kind of ran with the idea and kind of said like, listen G, kind of like go along with it, say that you want a diagnosis. And there was so much of it that got cut out, because when I did the interview, I openly admitted that I didn't want a diagnosis and I had no interest. It wasn't like something that I wanted to do, and they actually cut all of that bit out and changed kind of like things, not things that I've said, but kind of cropped the end bits of me going, I'm not really that bothered, and they've cut that out. So whenever my documentary gets aired, I do still get an influx of people saying like, congrats on your diagnosis, or I've got the same diagnosis as you, and things like that. And it's so bad because people think that, yeah, the story is I am not interested one bit. I will admit, like, it doesn't interest me. I shouldn't be labelled with a diagnosis. I feel like being undiagnosed is a really good thing, like in a weird way, of how people can't go, you've got this, or oh yeah, that's the girl that's got this. Like, I am a mystery. And yeah, there's a lot of things behind the scenes that went on a few years ago that I would love to talk about, and maybe I can one day. And that is kind of the reason why I don't want a diagnosis, just because I know things that happened when I was younger. I love being a mystery. Since YouTube has become your job, you have become a lot more lonely. This one is kind of true, I will admit. Since starting YouTube, I have become a lot more lonely. Before YouTube, I had nothing to do, so I was like always spending time with my friends that I'm not friends with anymore, and things like that. Like, I was around people who I put my whole like happiness into, and I kind of relied on these kind of people for my happiness. Then I started YouTube, and it became my job, and I become a lot more focused on my job. And because of YouTube, I do feel like I am a lot more cautious of who I'm friends with. I definitely can read people like a book. Like, I know your intentions. I've got to know if you're friends with me for me, not because I've got a following. That, like, I definitely don't like people judging me before they know me. I'd rather people get to know me for me without my job. in a weird way. I could be friends with someone and they could be in it for the wrong reasons. So yeah, in a weird way I am, but thank God YouTube is here to make me be a lot more aware of people and their intentions. I literally love this one so much. Your woman crush is Billie Eilish. Oh my God, who isn't? Who hasn't got a huge woman crush on Billie Eilish? I swear people used to be like, oh my God, Cara Delevingne. No, like if I looked like 10% of Billie Eilish, I would absolutely die. She's so beautiful, she's stunning, like naturally without makeup, and when she does wear makeup, she's just on another level. I absolutely adore her. You have had therapy for your mental health. I have definitely had some kind of therapy. So a few years I actually had a lot of sessions with a psychologist. You know, I was going through a lot at the time. Did make me very, very dark, and I didn't want to be here and things like that. So I think I definitely think my hospital was like, yeah, you need help, hon. You definitely need to speak to someone. So I actually had a psychologist for about a year or more, maybe, I'm not sure. And yeah, I mean, I had a really positive experience. I think some of it did put me off a little bit because when I did have a psychologist, I didn't know whether they thought that my pain wasn't real. So part of me was like, am I in it for the right reasons? Did they really want to help me for my mental health, or was it because they wanted to get to the bottom of my pain? Because for years they thought that I was remembering pain that didn't exist. And luckily it was obviously false and I proved them wrong. Even my surgeon believed me, but yeah, part of me definitely did think it was for the wrong reasons. But from my point of view back then, I really liked my psychologist. She was such a lovely person. I think her name was Sally, I swear her name was Sally, and she was a really lovely lady. There's definitely nothing wrong with reaching out for help to someone, whether that's a counsellor, a psychologist, someone online. But yeah, I just think it needs to be normalised a lot more, because there's nothing wrong with reaching out for help. You are more conscious about what you share online. Definitely. Years ago, well, I say years ago, probably last year or the year before, I didn't care about what I shared online. I think even to a point where I didn't care what I wore. I was wearing bralettes online, and I know that's not even a big deal, but I would never come online now. Even this, I feel really, really conscious in, and it's only a Bardo top. I'm not even showing anything. They were definitely the blonde days where I didn't really care a lot. I had my blonde hair. I was very carefree. I wasn't really aware of things, and yeah, I did share a lot online. You won't see me online with a bralette. Maybe try on clip of underwear, and if that's my job, but if it's an option, you won't see me wearing that kind of thing again. I actually got a lot of trolling from mums, which is just mad. Mums trolling on me, but yeah, I got a lot of mums and older people trolling on me, going, I wouldn't let my daughter do that, or I don't know. I just get a lot of older women hating on me for what I do online, and it's definitely changed how I am online in a weird way. What I wear, this makes me feel uncomfortable. But years ago, this would be nothing to me. And yeah, I won't wear bralettes online. I won't wear certain things online. I won't share certain things online. I just feel like I'm a lot more aware of what people could think of it and could turn it into as well. It's definitely something that's always in my head, and I definitely have changed a lot over the years to suit my audience and try and keep everybody happy, but in reality it's not possible to keep everybody happy, and I'm always going to have some kind of hater, and I'm always going to have some kind of criticism because of something. But it's just about kind of accepting that. It does come with the job in an awful sad way. It is something that I've just got to accept and kind of get on with and not think of that. You have sent nudes before. Hello? No, you know what? This is something that I'm really, in a weird way, proud of. Someone's Instagram story, and she's actually from Love Island, and I absolutely love her. And she got asked this question the other day, and someone was like, you've sent nudes before? And she was so open about it and was like, no, never. She would never share pictures of her body. She had no problem with other people doing it, but for herself, she wouldn't. And you have got to be careful with your job and online and stuff. And I will admit that is something that is instantly in the back of my head. My job, I just wouldn't want that. I just wouldn't want something to happen where something bad would happen, pictures be shared online, and yeah, my job could be in danger of that. I think people forget that even though you may trust that person's phone could be hacked by someone, or someone could be viewing their stuff, and it's not that person who's seeing them, because yes, that person may never share that picture, but it's also about other people like hackers, and also, you know, literally anything. I'm just very, very cautious, and it is something that crosses my mind. The only thing that I think is online of me is just pictures of underwear, but that is just because it is my job and I do work with laundering things. I definitely have seen the wrong side of that, and I think that is definitely what's put me off. Like, my pictures have ended up on the worst Instagram accounts, like the worst possible Instagram accounts, the ones that shouldn't even be allowed, like the wrong websites, 18 plus websites and 18 plus accounts. I've seen my pictures being tagged on there, and yeah, it's worrying and it is really, really scary. But apart from that, yeah, it's definitely put me off for life. And as much as you may trust that person, you've got to be so careful online. The sun has come out all of a sudden and it's gone dead bright, but I've got another one here which says, what made you have this emoji pierced, and what was your parents' reaction? This question was asked quite a lot, and not that I've like openly said about having my pierced. So a lot of girls have it done, and saying it like boosted their confidence. I will openly admit that I absolutely hate my boobs. I was never confident in a really weird way. When I saw girls say that once they got this piercing, it made them so much more confident. They just felt better in themselves in a really weird way. I did a lot of research into it as well, and I didn't obviously tell my mum and dad I was having it done. I just went and got it done, and I actually had it done back in August last year, so I've had them for ages now, and I will admit, it was the best piercing I had done. I absolutely love it. Like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, when I say it has given me so much more confidence, I can't even tell you. Like, it really did change things for me. That is something that I wanted to do for me, and I was like, no one else is going to see it, but I know that these piercings are what makes me feel a lot more confident. Luckily, my mum and dad are supportive. Like, they weren't too happy at first, but my mum like jokes about them now, and she finds them hilarious. She literally finds them hilarious. Like, my mum literally finds them hilarious. She thinks they're just funny and weird. She hates them, but she loves them. As long as you're doing things for you, like you want to get that piercing for you and nobody else, then that's, I think, like, go for it. Like, do it. Right, so that is the end of today's video. I do hope you enjoyed, and I guess learn some new things about me, like whether it's good or bad. But I did think that this was a really fun video to film, and I hope you guys got to know me a little bit better, and I think a little bit of tea may have been spilled, I'm not sure. But anyway, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please make sure to check that you're still subscribed if you are one of my subscribers. But if you're not, I would absolutely love you to join this wonderful family. But anyway, I love you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.